All right, Ken, go ahead.
Awesome. So just so you know who we are, I always like to give a little bit of background. We started in the brick and mortar ink and toner business. My father and I had one. He actually had a pharmacy that he ran for 30 years, and we decided to bring in inkjet refilling and toner refilling into that as a revenue stream about 14 years ago. And so this came from the need that we wanted to create something for our customers that was different than what anybody else had out there. My background's in web and marketing, and he just knows sales, and he's a big sales guy, always has been all his life. And so we kind of came together, and he said he didn't want anything that was like really e-commerce because, like I said, everybody has that. He wanted something that really took care of the customers. He's from a bunch of different backgrounds where you really had to put the customer first, and that's gonna, you take care of your customer, they're gonna take care of you. And so
Yeah,
that's why we created EasyOrder.
yeah, yeah.
And so this is a little bit different than anything you've probably seen, but it really does. It's super sticky. It keeps the customers engaged. It keeps the loyalty there because with e-commerce, they can just go anywhere else, or if they forget their password, or if they can't get into your site, or if they don't remember the URL, all that stuff can make your customers just go off to somewhere else. And so with EasyOrder, we take care of all that. We link you directly to the customer. You don't have to do SEO to get people to your website. You don't have to do any of the trappings that you would normally have to do that makes e-commerce really expensive to do. So real quick, we're just basically going to set up customer order forms. So instead of the customer going to your website, picking out the stuff they need and putting it in their cart, we're going to do all that process for them. We figure if you take all the work away from the customer to order from you and just make it really easy, they're going to order from you again and again.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. So manage customers, and you can have one customer. You can have a customer that has multiple locations. If you notice here, this customer has 8 different locations. So we can handle anybody from the one customer with a couple of departments to 1,000 customers with 1,000 different locations and all sort of different levels of purchasing and hierarchy. So just so you know, we can handle any size customer. And we've actually been the way that people get large customers. Liberty Tax is one of the customers of one of my subscribers, and he got into one Liberty Tax, and it moved around, and finally he's over 450 Liberty Taxes in his area. So it really does help you. The CEO of that company was basically like, you turn like chaos into organization, and so we would never stop ordering from you just because of that, not because of your prices or your cartridges, just because you've handled us, and you can absolutely do that with EasyOrder. So I'm going to start here with new. We're going to click new, make a new customer, and I'm just going to call this ABC Bank. Type this morning, and then so on the order forms, people can have special pricing. So another trapping of e-commerce is you live and die by the price that you show online. That price you show is the price you better charge people because they're going to get upset if you don't. With EasyOrder, it's a closed ordering system, and so only you and your customer see the pricing between each other, and so you can really have whatever pricing on there you want to, and nobody's going to be able to price that against anything else online or anybody else's website because it's all secure. So you can absolutely lock order form pricing. Say you bid a school or a government agency and you want to make sure when you do updates it doesn't affect that, you can lock order forms, and that special pricing on that order form won't change. So real quick, 1, 2, 3, we're in Austin, Texas, in case you're wondering where we are. And so I'm going to go up here to save that customer. And so when I get here now, this is the first location for the customer. So if you notice, we set up the customer first because you can have one customer. That customer could have many locations. And so we're starting by creating the first location for ABC Bank. If it's just one customer and you don't have other locations, you can leave it like it is, and it'll just think it's one customer. Or this could be like store 1 or store 26, whatever it would be, and you can put that location number there. And now that's the 26 location or Austin location for this account. For the login, ABC, whatever, we give a secure password. Most of the time, the customer is never going to see their username and password, which is very odd for any kind of website. Normally, you have to remember the username and password, and so we take all that away so they don't have to, just to make it easy. I'm going to set myself here. And phone fax. Another thing about Easy Order is it's not just an ordering system. This is a marketing system to keep you and your sales reps in front of your customers. And so we actually have an order frequency reminder in here. You can say, I want to know if a customer hasn't ordered in 90 days. And what the system will do is watch this for you. And if your customer hasn't ordered in the time frame you specify, it can send you a notification as a sales rep that, hey, your customer hasn't ordered in a certain time frame. A lot of times it'd be like 6 months would go by and I'd see some old invoice on my desk and I'd be like, oh man, I hadn't heard from ABC Bank in a while. Like, I should check on them. And then I go check on them, they're already ordering from somebody else. So this keeps you in front of your customers. And we also have a thing in here under marketing tools where you can turn this on to where the system will actually send out an email to your customer saying, hey, we miss you. We haven't heard from you in a while. One of our reps will be contacting you to, kind of follow up and see where you're at. So more than just an ordering system, this is definitely a way to market your business and keep your sales reps and you in front of your customers. Not a CRM necessarily, but we have a little CRM kind of tools that dial into Easy Order. Of course, you can have different salespeople tied to different customers. So if you have a group of salespeople and you want to make sure you can see who's doing what, you can tag your salespeople to the clients. And when they interact with their clients, they'll tag themselves, and you can keep track of them. You can run commission reports, all kinds of stuff off sales reps. Tax can be different per customer per order form. If it's a school, you can have 0. If it's not, it'll be your default tax rate. These are for extra discounts on top of your already low prices. So if you wanted to give somebody a special extra discount, you could do that here. It would reflect on their order form. Delivery of shipping, if a lot of people do the free shipping for everything, and what I've been trying to teach people is you really want to only deliver stuff or ship stuff for free if it meets certain criteria. You don't want to ship or deliver for free a $20 cartridge. You want to make sure it's worth your while. So a lot of people put like a free shipping minimum of $7, whatever it would cover a normal shipping rate, and then you put maybe $75 as your free shipping minimum. So what will happen is when the customer's putting that $20 cartridge in the cart and they go to check out, it'll say, oh, remember you get free shipping over $75, and it kind of prompts them to add more to their cart to make it worth it so they don't have to pay that shipping. People will add more stuff to the cart in order to not pay that $7 fee, and this just kind of helps you upsell them on that. Approval minimum, we do have a really robust approval process. If you have a school or something that really has a serious approval process, we have a whole hierarchy for that in place. This basically says if you have you only want to see orders if they're over a certain dollar amount. So if this particular order form has a $300 limit, you could set that, and they would only have to approve it if it goes over a certain dollar amount.
Does that get does that get sent to, let's say we have a satellite office, everything needs to get approval through corporate. Mm-hmm. Would that be shot to the head procurement person?
Sure, absolutely. We have these things called central purchasers, and you could set that up in the system, and it would be over a certain number of order forms you have. And whenever any of those order forms ordered, it would be sent to that person for an approval. That person would get an email saying you have orders to approve. They click on their icon, basically the email, and it goes to their list of orders to approve. They can approve the orders or deny the orders, whatever they like. But yeah, absolutely, fully robust approval system. We even have levels over that. So if it needs to go from the location on the order form to somebody to approve, and it needs to go to somebody higher than that, we have ways to do even that. So district managers are only over a certain number of order forms. So our system has seen it all over the years, so we can pretty much handle any situation that a customer is going to buy from.
Wow.
So little notes, if you just want to put notes for your customer, they won't see that. The shipping is right here. You can copy that down to billing if it's the same, or you can use the previous info on the other company for it, like the corporate information. We do have payment processing, so if you want to use credit cards to checkout, I highly recommend it, just because obviously it closes the loop. You don't have any A&R, you're not chasing around bills, and customers can just pay right from the system. It is an add-on feature, so you do have to use one of our merchant processors that we're integrated with. It's an online merchant account, but we can give you more information about that if you're interested later on.
Got it.
Okay, so saving that customer. Oh, you need to put a phone. Okay, so this is the next part of Easy Order, and this deals with our database. Now, I've curated this database since I started this 14 years ago. I built it from scratch. We own all of it, and so we work on it every day, and we're always adding to it. So it's really robust and really solid. So you don't have to go look up this stuff. A lot of e-commerce stuff makes you fill in a lot of this stuff, or when they do it, they don't know printer cartridges, and so it's not done in the correct way. And so us knowing printer cartridges and selling printer cartridges, we have a really clean database, easy to read, easy to see. You start off with 3 product categories: Reman, OEM, and the other could be like compatible. And you also have a custom product category. So if you want to sell anything other than a cartridge, you can add that to the EasyOrder order form as well. So if you wanted to sell paper, office supplies, anything else, printers, copiers, whatever else, you can do that as well. So I'll start off with Reman. And again, you can change these labels to be like bronze, silver, gold. You can really do whatever you want to with these. That's just kind of the default.
Oh, got it.
So manufacturer here, you can go, let's start with HP. And if you notice, we have by printer and we have by cartridge. So if you only know the cartridges, that's fine. A lot of people start off only knowing the customer's cartridges. But we have a worksheet where you can actually, it's a editable PDF. You can download it, type in it, and they can send it back to you. Nobody has to print it out or scan it or anything. It's really easy. And it just asks the customer, what printer do you have, what department is it in, and who uses it, or would you like to nickname it? And so if you know the printer, a lot more goes with a printer than goes with a single cartridge. If we were to do a full set of color cartridges, we would adding 4 different cartridges, one at a time. But if you go by printer, and obviously I hate drop downs. Everybody has drop downs in their stuff, and I'm not about that. I don't like to search through drop downs. So if you just start typing the model number, more stuff will come up than typing in like color laser jet or trying to go for a drop down. We used like a Google type search to get in here to do this. So color laserjet 2600, you pick the one you're looking for. All the cartridges and parts come up for it. We have the value pack, we have the dual pack, we have the black, cyan, yellow, magenta, fuser assembly, and if you notice, we even have the Xerox branded compatibles that sell for that HP cartridge in there. So if you want to save that, you just click that, and all of that pops in here for you, auto-filled. And so if you want to nickname this makes it a lot easier for the customer to, it's cold in my office, I can't type, printer. If you nickname these, it's a lot easier for the customer to find it. So before, when the person ordering has to go, they have to write down a printer and a model number, or they have to write down a cartridge number that they're not familiar with. They don't really have to do any of that here. They just basically go, hey, Bob needs a black one, and they can come here, find Bob's printer, look at the black, color, and order the right cartridge without having to transcribe a bunch of numbers that they're not familiar with. And they may give you the wrong number, and they give you the one for the cyan when they meant the black. And obviously you have to eat that because the customer's always right. And this really reduces human error because it takes all that away from, the customer. So all the cartridges are here. We've named it. You can actually put it in a department if we wanted to, like sales. And then here's the retail price. Now, interesting fact for us with the retail price, we built, for lack of a better term, a scraper that goes to Staples every week and scrapes the most up-to-date retail price off their website. And so we feed it back into EasyOrder. And so that's where you see the prices coming from. Every week that gets updated for about 90% of the products we have in our database. A lot of the weirder stuff that wouldn't be at Staples obviously doesn't get updated because we don't have anything to do that for. We just update that, quarterly. But it really helps you guys to have up-to-date retail prices in here, especially when Staples does things like they just recently did this thing where they raised their cartridges up 10% in price publicly on their website. And then they said, okay, you need to buy a Staples membership for $49 a year, and that will give you 10% off the prices on the website. So they basically said, we're raising the price 10%, you buy a membership with us and we'll put it back to where it was. So, Staples is always doing weird stuff, so we try to follow that and make sure you have all that info. Your price in here, obviously it's set per customer per order form, but if you wanted to change this price from what we have in the system, it starts off normally at 30% off this price. That's where your price will come from. It's just a guide. We don't expect you to price yours at that. You can price it whatever you want to, but we just give you that guide of 30% off. These have been changed. So if you want to change the prices globally in your storefront as you're creating these order forms, if you just check this G box for global, it will put this G next to it indicating to you that you've touched that product before, you've priced that in our system. And then, of course, the cost, the yield, and the SKU become available if you have your own SKU for cartridges. If you want to put your cost in there, so when you're quoting, you can make sure that you know your rock bottom price. You can do all that. You can really get as engaged as you want to with the products. So that's that. I'm going to click on Save, and it adds that to the order form. I'm going to add one more quick product just to have a decent looking order form. Give me an HP, and I'll go 8600 this time. And we'll just go for the chipped or non-chipped cartridges, whichever ones are available now. I forget what is going on with that one. We need to call this color copier. and then save that. And so now we have a decent looking order form. You can basically drag and drop these things around if you want to. You can edit the item. You guys do a lot of lease stuff, right?
Yeah, for copiers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you needed to put these products on your order forms and then you wanted to have a lease tracker, we built this for Cartridge World, but it could help you too. You could set the lease end date for this machine. And so the EasyOrder will be tracking the lease end date, and we'll send you a notification when that lease is coming up, reminding you to, get back on it and re-sign the lease, that sort of thing. Cartridge World uses this for what they call the no-cost printer lease program, or why buy a printer program, where they basically give you a printer and you have to buy the cartridges for it for 2 years, and they kind of put you into a little agreement like that. And so that's what we have built this for, but you can use it to track any lease that you have. Okay, so now what we're going to do is it's ready to go. I'm going to send the welcome email to the customer. The customer is me, so I'm going to pull this over. It says, greetings, Kat with ABC Bank. Welcome to EasyOrder. And basically the first thing it says is we want them to click on this link to download their desktop icon. And so as an admin of this, I want to show you a couple more things so you just know that they're in here. There's also a video that goes right from this email that you're looking at to placing an order. So downloading the desktop icon, placing an order. This video right here will be, all you have to tell the customer is watch that video and then click on this link. And that's all they need to do. As an admin, you also need to know that we always give them their manual login just in case something happens. You can click here and then you can put in the username and password if you just absolutely can't get the icon to work for you, which is very rare, or if you're government and you just can't download anything at all. Then you can use your manual login. But what we really want them to do is to click on this. This is the magic of EasyOrder. And if you notice, once they click on it, this would open up a web browser. It would log them in, see we're logged in here as the customer. And there's two versions of the icon. Once you have a full account, not just a demo account, we can put your branding up here so it looks just like your website. It's represented just to be very similar to your own site. So it's your branding and everything. And with that, you get an icon that's branded to your business as well. So there's two icons. One's just a bookmark, and it literally is just a bookmark. So no customer has a problem with putting a bookmark to something on their desktop. Anybody can do it. And this one is the same bookmark, but we just put a little graphic on top of it. And to do that, we have to actually install a little piece of software to do that. But it really is emphasizing your branding. So if you have your brand on the customer's desktop, if you told them, hey, I want to put this tchotchke and put it right on your computer, and I'll pay you to do it, the customer would be like, hell no, I'd never do that, But what they're doing by doing this is they're putting your brand on their desktop, and that's reinforcing your brand. So every time they see your logo, every time they see your icon, and they may just see it peripherally, they understand that, that's your thing, and when it's time to order cartridges, they go to that icon. I'm just going to do the bookmark because the demo account has the same icon as the bookmark, so didn't have any custom branding. So I'm going to save this to my desktop. It's just a simple bookmark here, and I'll go back to my desktop, close this out. Here's the icon, and again, it's whatever browser that they're using, so it's Chrome because I'm using Chrome. But if it was IE, it'd be look like the blue E, and it'll say your business name underneath it. Now with the branded icon, obviously this will be a custom branded icon, similar to something like this, but it'll be your business. And so now this customer has this icon on the desktop. You're more connected to this customer than you ever have been to any customer before, because when they need you, they don't have to remember your business card, they don't have to remember your sales rep's phone number, your website address, their password, anything. They just click on this link and run it, and it opens them back up instantly to their order form that we were just looking at. So super smooth as far as keeping the customer engaged. Having that desktop icon really does link you to that customer, and then having a professional looking order form like this that they didn't have to assemble, they didn't have to do. It's all correct. It has the right info on it. Here's the color copier. Here's Bob's printer. If you ever need to order any of this stuff, you literally just click on review order, and you can fill out some things here. No rush, PO, special instructions, local pickup. You can turn all this on or off. These are just different settings. It tells the customer how much they're going to save on their order today, because I like seeing that at the bottom of my receipt at the grocery store, how much I saved. And so that really is reinforcing your value to the customer. And of course, free shipping with anything over 75 bucks. If I would order this right now, it'd say, hey, free shipping over 75 bucks. Are you sure you don't want to add more? And they can go back and change the quantity if they'd like to, whatever they need. So from the point where they get this is how quick it is for the customer to order cartridges. They just go, hey, Bob needs a black cartridge. So, okay. They click on it. It runs. They go here. They look up, oh, here's Bob's. That's the black one. I'm going to go ahead and order one here. I'll just submit that. And they're done. So within 3 clicks, in less than 10 seconds, they can place their order and it's done. And so as soon as they do that, they get a confirmation that looks like this. It'll have your logo on it. It's very professional, has everything they ordered on it. And it also has a PDF attached to it as well. It looks like my mail just froze on that one real quick. But you see the confirmation email. There's also at the bottom of it, oh, here it goes. They're also at the bottom of delivery by department. And so this is great for customers who you drop ship to and they just get a box of toner and they don't really know what goes to what. This tells them that the color copier in the main department, this printer got this cartridge, and then the quantity, same thing for Bob's printer. You also get a PDF of the same order confirmation, so it's really smooth and very professional. So when the customers are getting these professional receipts of their order, they know you got the order, there's no problems with it. You know that when they ordered, it's coming in 100%. And even better, one of the worst things of doing compatibles is having the customer call you or email you, and of all these different ways of ordering that kind of get squirrely. You can have post-it notes for days everywhere and still miss something. And so this keeps it all in one system. The more the customer calls you, we have people even ordering for the customer through their own order form if the customer doesn't want to, because it gives them these professional confirmations and tracks them, in the system. So that is kind of the magic of the desktop icon. We're also mobile friendly as of this year. So our latest update, we made sure the order forms were shrinkable to any size phone. And so if you actually hit that welcome email on a cell phone instead of your desktop, it goes to a screen for the download icon and it says, do you have Android or Apple? And then they can download an icon to their home screen of their cell phone and do the same thing as the desktop icon, except now it's a mobile icon. So there's that. Any questions on kind of that part of it?
No.
Awesome. Okay, so let me talk to, that's about getting customers on, that's getting customers attached to you, that's that stickiness that we're talking about that you can't get on most systems. Now, how do we get new customers? So we're equally as powerful with getting new customers as we are with keeping customers, and that's through the quote process. And I'll just go over these 2 parts of EasyOrder, and there's a lot more we can go over later. I just wanted to give you the demo of kind of everything. So under quotes, you can actually have a pretty robust system of getting quick quotes out to people with quick turnaround times. Obviously, the faster you respond to a quote, the better chance you have to get that business. And so we want to give you a tool that not only gets you to respond quickly, but puts you in the best spot as a salesperson to be able to close this deal. And so with the quote, it's very much like setting up an order form, except you just need much less information to get started. So, company name, AA bank, and contact is Bob, and my email. Email, I say, is very important, although it's not mandatory. For some of the functionality, it's very important. Okay, so that's all you need to set up a quote. Then you go down and basically, add items to it, just like we did before. I'm just going to add a quick item just to have something on the quote. Reman, HP, we'll do the same, 2600. And we'll do a different 2600. Save that. That's all good, so I'll save that. And so here's the quote. Here's the information from the customer. I'm going to preview this quote just so you can see what it looks like. Now, that's the simple version of the quote. There's 2 versions, just kind of this is kind of the printable one. It's really easy to print. There's also an advanced quote template. If you click on this advanced quote template, notice it gives you an annual orders. So you can say, okay, if you can order this 3 times a year, and we'll extrapolate those savings so the savings look more like what they would do. Here's the advanced quote. It's going to have your header up here, some more information. Looks a little cleaner, has some images that you can control here. You can change those images. And it extrapolates this out. So based on 3 orders per year, your annual savings will be $420, $450, so they can really see that big picture of what you're going to save them. Now, all that's great, and this is a nice quote and everything, and normally the sales process would be this. You would come show the quote to the customer, go over all these numbers, and just say, okay, well, call me if you need anything. My phone number's up here, so just let me know if you need anything. And that's really not a powerful way to end a sales process, because you're putting all the work for the customer to contact you back if they want something from you. And again, we're all about not allowing the customer to do much other than order from you. So if you notice at the bottom of our quote, it says, don't forget, you can place an order right from this quote. Click Show Order Form to create your online order form. So what I tell people to do that use EasyOrder is, instead of saying, well, call me if you need anything, and giving them the quote, you go over the quote with them and just say, okay, let me show you how to order from us. You're not saying, do you need anything today, which is kind of beating them over the head, kind of a used car salesman pushy, which I don't like to be. And it's not just going, well, call me if you need anything. It's like, let me show you how to order from us. This is how we place orders. Click on that button. And so when they click on the button in the order form, basically what it does is what it showed you earlier. A window opens up, and they basically are taking to their order form that was this quote just a minute ago. So that quote now converts into one of these working order forms. The customer sitting there staring at something like this from your quote, and they're like, what's this? And they're like, well, this is your order form with us. We just turned that quote into a working order form. If you ever need anything, you just put quantities next to whatever you need, and you can show them how to review the order, and you can show them how to submit the order. And basically what you're doing is you're pushing them down that sales funnel to where now they have a working order form. They don't necessarily have to order like I just did, but you can show them that they can order from it. So they're looking at this order form. Now they're like a step further past what they were with just the quote process, to where now they have an order form with you. And then you can say, oh, by the way, you just got sent a welcome email that has a link to download a desktop icon that will get you back to this quote, which is now your order form, at any time you want. And so you show them how to watch the video. They download the icon. Now they're way further down the quote process than they ever would have been if you just gave them a quote. And you're not hitting them over the head. You're just showing them how you work, which is the information you want them to have. And so that's when we started doing this with Cartridge World. We saw a 30% increase in quote closures because of this method. If you do take them down this method and you show them this, they're much more likely to do business with you. And when they need something, they're going to click on that icon and they're going to order. So that's the quote process. Any questions on that?
No.
Cool. There's a couple things past that, and I won't keep you much further than this. I just wanted to let you know, with your website, there are some tools that we have to have EasyOrder interact with your website, right? So the first thing is, and this is kind of what I mentioned to you when I first contacted you on LinkedIn, is we can help out with a couple of pages on your website. The first one is the request a quote page. A lot of people have forms that you can fill out, which is great, but it's just making the customer fill out a bunch of stuff again, and we're trying not to do that. If they don't fill out your form, you don't really get their contact information, and so it's kind of a loss on a lot of web forms. So what this is a page that you can link to. You can take this link and link it to from your website, and you can have a button on your website called like request a quote, and just link it to this. And when it comes here, it'll have your branding up at the top like we were talking about, and this is a lead capture system for you. It is a quote system, but it also is a lead capture system. So you can put this out on social media, LinkedIn, get a quote from us, whatever you want. The customer can come here, put their name, company name, email address, phone number, everything you need to contact them. When they click get started, what this does is capture that information and essentially start a quote in your quote system with their contact information in it. So if they go past this and they actually put in their printers and put in their cartridges, they'll have a full quote, and if you've priced those items in your system before, they'll get prices for it, and then they can actually click on the button to convert the quote into an order form, and they can actually place an order without speaking to you. So we've had people from, like I said, I keep using Cartridge World because it's such a big swatch of people that we get to play with. We've had people, when we first started this, just get orders, and they're like, where did these people come from? Well, I hadn't talked to this person. So, well, they came from Cartridge World USA. They got to your website, they created a quote, and they ordered. So, and even if they don't go past this and add a printer that said they didn't have the information or didn't want to do it right now, you still have their contact information. So you can say, call them back up and say, hey, I noticed you started a quote with us. I'd love to help you finish it. Would you give me a list of your printers and I can work it up for you? So it's that customer service thing. It's going above and beyond. It is, lead capturing from your website. So, for people who are just kind of glazing by, you can still get that business. Is this the way you're going to quote 100% of your people? Absolutely not. This does not take place of traditional quoting and making that relationship and quoting people, but it does help get those people who are just skimming by or want to come to your website, want more information, but they're not sure if they want to fully invest. They can do this and get started, and you can contact them. So it is a great way to get the customer interacting with your site. You also have a sign-up page. So if the customer wants to come in here and log in, let's say they can't use the icon, they want to log in, they can come here and log in. There's a demo video the customer can watch about EasyOrder. So if they want to know what they're signing up for, here's the demo video. And they can actually register for an account. So if they just want to go ahead and get an EasyOrder account, put their printers on it and start ordering, they can skip the whole quote process and just become a new customer. So you can also have that link on your website. And then more so for your sales reps and anybody talking to customers about EasyOrder, we have a really cool branded demo video. And I won't go through it all, but it basically is just super high production value video that you can show your customers. This is what we have. This is EasyOrder. We're taking care of you. You're a VIP. It kind of shows them, you know, what they're going to get from the welcome email, and then you get a customized order form and everything else. Super easy. Customer's awesome. It's free to you. You know, so you can use this video to really sell. You just put this out on social media as this is what you have as your ordering system. It's free. Anybody interested, let me know and we'll set you up an account. So we have all the tools there for you to really get this out to your customer with minimal like learning curve other than creating the order forms. And once you create one order form, it's rinse and repeat. It's creating the same order form over and over, just with different cartridges and products in it. So what do you think, man?
I love it, man.
Awesome. I knew you would.
Yeah, you guys definitely went, I mean, that's awesome.
I appreciate it. We've been doing this for a long time, and it got to the point where in 2008, it was just software was over the business we were running. So we sold our business and went into this full time, and we haven't looked back.
That's great stuff. This will
Hey,
get us
thank
back
you.
on track for sure. I could see the potential with this thing here.